Hi guys, my name's Elliot Timothy Harding Bethel, and as always, I'm here to bring you the truth as it is shown to me and to encourage you guys to do the same. This is a perspective, this is my perspective. There are many perspectives, and if this doesn't resonate with you, then let it pass like a cloud in the sky. So today I wanted to talk to you about how powerful the subconscious mind is and how it creates the realities that we see. So the subconscious mind is a powerful tool of manifestation. In masonry terms, it is known as the architect and the builder. So the conscious mind is the architect and the subconscious mind is the builder. So the architect draws the plans and has the thoughts, and then the builder sets about at creating that and bringing it into the 3D. So the non-physical to the 3D. Now, there's a great spiritual teacher called Neville Goddard, and I prefer his term and how he expresses himself. And his perspective is that they should be called the masculine and the feminine, and that the conscious masculine mind impregnates the feminine mind, and the feminine then goes about to birth it into the reality. So again, the non-physical to the physical. Now, some biblical terms will call the conscious mind the gatekeeper, because the conscious mind has to be very aware of what it's letting into the subconscious mind. Because if the conscious mind is distracted and something slips into the subconscious through, say, a weapon of mass distraction, television, radio, media, then the subconscious can set about creating things that the conscious mind necessarily did not mean to let in. Now, when you become more conscious and you balance the subconscious and the conscious minds, we activate something called super consciousness, which is where a lot of synchronicities start coming into play. I've done videos on synchronicities. Please do check them out on my YouTube channel, Mind, Body, Soul and Spirit Coach. Now, love and sex are very powerful emotions, and the word emotion stands for energy in motion. So when the conscious mind has the thought, and there's a powerful emotion, it puts the energy in motion and it supercharges that thought into the subconscious. And then the subconscious then goes about birthing that into your reality, and that is what you begin to see. Now, advertisers have known about this for many years, and they've taken the piss, quite frankly, with sex and emotion and love in films and in advertising, to play with people's emotions while they're seeing a certain thing. And this then implements that for them to go out and buy these certain things. And again, this is a theory that has been taught by many spiritual teachers. So please do your own research, because when you do your own research, the level of vibration of the information that comes to you will be that which is purer for you to understand. Now, I'm telling you this because you can now maybe see the connection to certain things that are happening and why certain lockdowns are brought in at certain times to create emotions of fear to then stabilize certain things, or may have been in the past. Now, in general, when someone is not conscious enough of what they are letting into their subconscious, the subconscious is either you're running from it 90% of the time, where 90% of what you've done today is 90% of what you've done yesterday, or there's something called the collective consciousness, which is a mass ball of thought forms that have been thought, and people tune into this, and that is what subconsciously their reality is created by this collective consciousness. Now, people like Steve Jobs knew how to operate this very, very well, because he never really created many of the systems and the products that Apple produced, but he was the architect behind them, because he would say, I want to create a computer that's as thin as a notepad, and people would say, that's crazy. But he would put so much belief into it, and then the people around him would start to believe it. And what happens is, when something becomes your belief to a point where it will go into your subconscious and create that as your reality, that becomes your reality. Now, I've seen this with myself with fasting, when I've gone 7 days without food or water and contact with water, and then guided other people, because it became my belief very strongly to a point where I've gone on to do 14 days without food and water, and where I will be attempting longer in the not too distant future. people would say that it's not possible to go without food or water for longer than 3 days because they rely on Uncle Google, or they Googleize it, and this is what Google will tell them. So I'd like you guys to YouTube something called the flea test. Now, the flea test states that if you take 1,000 fleas and put them in a jar, the fleas will all jump higher than the lid of the jar. But if you put a lid on that jar for 3 days, those fleas, when you open it, will never jump higher than the lid of that jar. Now, where this gets very interesting is that those fleas, when they reproduce, their children will never jump higher than the lid of that jar. And not only that, they will not know that they could have jumped higher than that jar because they've been generationally programmed. Now, how many generations do you believe that certain gifts and talents, abilities have been phased out throughout generations of people? I invite you to do your own research on this, because this is a perspective again, and there are many perspectives as there are many truths, because there are many different beliefs, and beliefs are what creates your reality, and beliefs can be changed like furniture in a house. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope that this message has been received by you in a way that you have been able to understand. And I would advise you to listen to it more than once, and I'd also invite you to read the information that I put below, because generally when I write something, I will channel it or read it or write it before I do the video. So sometimes a little bit of the information gets skimmed across when I'm doing the video, because I get very excited about the videos and I get very passionate about what I talk about. As always, I hope you enjoyed this. Lots of love. Namaste.